guys, this is Super Review Show for this first ever 2016 movie review for Deadpool, which is currently in theaters as of tonight. Yes. And my God, the crowd we were with, they were laughing their guts off. We loved, we're going to get into the cast momentarily, but the initial impressions. I was so hesitant about this movie because they made a superhero movie rated R.
Yeah.
That was risky on its own. But then you watch the trailers and you watch the Red Band trailers and you start laughing, you start building up the momentum, saying, the marketing. I don't think I've ever seen better trailers and better billboards and better posters. There's a poster, I'm sure you can still find it. It's a billboard that says Deadpool, but it looks like a romantic comedy.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And the skull, poo, and L. Deadpool. Oh my God. Anyway, the marketing was phenomenal. Going into this movie, I thought, you know what? I don't know how they're going to do this. And it turned out it's my only movie I've seen this year, but I love it so much. Initial impressions, go.
It was great. I was actually really surprised at how well it was.
Right, I the direction and the way that Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool was phenomenal. But we're going to get into all that in a sec. Here's the cast rundown for Deadpool. So we obviously have Ryan Reynolds, who stars as Deadpool, or as Wade Wilson. We have, if I'm reading this correctly, we have Brianna Hildebrand as Negasonic Teenage Warhead. That is actually the character's name from the X-Men, who's in the movie. We only have the actor that played Colossus. I could not find him, but his name is Stefan Kapik. He's the voice of Colossus. Well, Colossus played a mess. We'll get into him in a little bit. We also have T.J. Miller as Weasel, who played a very cool role, and his wife Manera Baccarin.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Manera Baccarin as Vanessa,
the wife of Wade Wilson.
Yes, she is the wife of Wade Wilson, and my goodness gracious, this was a killer. It was a perfect cast.
It was.
Especially for, everything that happened.
Yeah. I'm
thinking about how, we're going to get into our favorite moments right now. Why don't you name off some of your favorite moments in the movie? Because this isn't all spoilers. If you're watching this, you're going to be filled with spoilers, so go ahead.
My favorite part of the movie was when Deadpool shows up at the X-Men the X-Men
the X-Men
Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. And it was just what was it?
Yeah, he knocks on the door.
Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and Colossus open the door wow, you're the only two guys I see of such a big house. Must have been that the studio didn't get enough money to buy a third X-Men. Best moment by far.
That was unbelievable. And, there were so many references to past roles of Ryan Reynolds.
Yes,
for instance,
Green Lantern, instance.
When Wade Wilson is going in to take his to become Deadpool, he says, "Whatever you do, don't make my super suit green or animated." Breaking the fourth wall and telling the world, "F you, I sucked at Green Lantern."
And then also in his bedroom, the Green Lantern poster.
Yes, no, you can just barely see it when after him and his wife, rub body parts. They, that's the nice way of putting it, folks. After they, rub body parts, it's a little bit in the future and stuff like that. And it's a little bit into the story, and you actually see a Green Lantern poster, like the ones behind me, but on the wall. And I'm the references to Batman and Robin,
Star Wars.
Wait, was there Star Wars references?
Yes, there was a Star Wars joke.
I didn't catch it. Go ahead.
No, it was Vanessa and Deadpool. I can't remember what
Oh, that's right.
She just has a Star Wars joke or something.
I know what you're talking about. I forget the net line she said, but she said something like she said a quote she said it's like R2D. It's like Yoda on Luke Skywalker's back, and because Deadpool's behind her and they're about to, rob body parts and stuff like that, and he's like, oh yeah, totally, it's Star Wars.
Star Wars joke.
It was Empire Strikes Back. So great. I will say that the part that made me nearly spit out the soda that was in my mouth was the part where he's killing everyone that he sees because he's trying to find out the bad guy, who's this who's in the opening credits. They say this British tool.
Yeah.
And,
The opening credits were amazing.
The opening credits are like you know how remember the ending of Avengers, the first one, how they had like the text around everything.
Yeah.
It was the same exact thing, but except it's Deadpool in a car that's turned over, like it's a still shot. Him giving a wedgie to a bad guy, and he's like he kicks some guy in the face while he's giving the wedgie and the bullet, and there's like a cigarette in someone's head.
While in a car, midair, in a tumble or something.
In the middle of an action scene, like that's how the film opens, and he's like, it's like directed by a tool, you know, produced by these assholes, you know, like all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, go ahead.
There's also a Green Lantern bubblegum card.
Oh, that's right, the bubblegum of Green Lantern. There was also a Hello Kitty toothbrush or something in the van, and I'm like, that is just brilliant. Stan Lee's cameo.
Oh my gosh, that was the creepiest one.
You may be saying that like, wait, but Stanley didn't create Deadpool. He didn't, but his role in this was so perfect. He's an announcer at a strip club, of all things. He's like, all right, on table 2, G Willikers. On table 3, we have the sexy, you know, like.
He thought his appearance in Iron Man 3 was weird.
You thought his appearance in I don't know, I can't remember. But anyways, well, like he has had so many great cameos, but I think this one was one of the best easily. And also the part where the part I was getting to, the part that made me laugh so hard was what was that machine called again? The one on the ice.
The Zamboni.
He stabs a guy, and the guy's crawling on the ice. He's like, get away,
they're on a hockey rink. And Deadpool is... So the guy's crawling on the ground trying to get away from Deadpool.
He's like, I'm trying to
go. And Deadpool's chasing after him in a Zamboni.
The line is just like...
How does it feel to be the first person to get killed by a Zamboni?
It's so fun. It's like this. That part made me die. I don't know why. It was just like I'm in the theater and like
because it was so out of place.
And like seconds after it happened, I'm still laughing. Like he's like you okay? He's like, are you okay? I'm like, I can't stop laughing because it's a way to kill someone, obviously, but it's like the way he put it. It's like how does it feel to be the first guy to be killed by a Zimbabwe? I can't remember
Zamboni.
A Zamboni or whatever. It's like. Keep talking again.
Alright,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was losing control for a second because I was laughing, but I don't know. The ending.
Oh, the ending.
No.
The after credits scene.
No. We're gonna get to that. But the part where he's like, listen. I'm gonna quote the movie, so don't think it's me actually saying this, which I know. I don't swear on this show. Only when I'm really excited. But he tells Colossus and Warhead, or I'm just gonna call her Warhead. And because at the point he reunites with his wife, and he's like, it's such a romantic moment. And he's like, tell Beast to stop taking shits on my lawn. I'm like, what? You can just see Kelsey Grammer from X-Men: The Last Stand as Beast going on his lawn. You can see that. And I'm like, I had that picture in my head. I'm like, oh my god. That made me, again, like the Zamboni thing made me laugh that hard, but this one made me laugh even harder. And then like I haven't stopped grinning since I got out of the theater. I mean it's just so funny. It's such a funny movie, and like I know you normally don't go to comedies or like because like you're like you know, but. You like really like were dying in this one. You
it
like
was a great.
I look over at him. I'm sitting like this, like we're sitting like this in the theater, and I'm like, "Dear God, you're dying of laughter. Calm down." But I can't even tell him that because I'm laughing too hard. What about other favorite parts?
I did know some.
Yes.
Was it a lot? Did a lot of references because Deadpool he breaks the fourth wall like a megaton in this movie.
He put a fourth wall in a fourth wall.
Exactly. He breaks 16 walls.
He breaks 16 walls.
But what was it? during the
That was great.
He was doing a montage. It was a montage, him trying to find this guy who gave him the superpower.
Oh, Ajax.
Trying to find Ajax, okay?
And
I don't think it's true or not, but there's a scene where he's fighting in the hallway, fighting people in the hallway, in the same style as in Daredevil of episode 2.
Of the Netflix show. That's what you were mentioning. That.
Now, at the end of Daredevil episode 2 of the Netflix show,
right.
Daredevil's fighting a bunch of people in a hallway, and like the camera's behind him.
I saw that, you're right now. I didn't know what you were talking about before, now I know what you're talking about.
And then like the exact same film style was with the Deadpool part, but the strangest part is at the bottom they had subtitles if you're speaking Spanish.
He's like,
where's Ajax?
He's like, where's it?
No, where's Francis?
Where's Francis? He's like, you know my name, and then near the end, like he spells out Francis with dead bodies as Francis is looking down on. He's like, Francis, I'm here, and he's like, yeah, que spacha Francis. Yeah, that was terrible Spanish, but yeah, like so many great moments in this movie. Like if you also. I'm not gonna lie, the story in this movie, it's a strong story.
Yeah.
For a comedy and a superhero like violence and fourth wall as Deadpool, and I'm not gonna lie, look, there have been some comic book love stories that I can give two craps about. Like, I really cared about Captain America and Peggy in the first Avenger.
Yeah.
I like the Widow and Cat romance that's kind of going on now. I love Tony, Iron Man and Pepper. I really love that. But I will say this, Deadpool and Vanessa, they had a really good love story. They really had a great story between the two. They met up in a bar. They rubbed a lot of body parts for years and years and years, and then like they get married, and he proposes with a ring pop that came out of his butt. It was like stuff like that. And I was like, oh my god. But listen, it's a very dirty film. It's a very it's like. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's a very dirty. It's like dirty body part humor stuff. For a family friendly audience, there's a lot of dick jokes.
I would not bring like kids under the age of 16.
Like easily, like 15 at the lowest. I would say personally. I mean, look, your brother's 16, and we wanted him to go, but he couldn't. But let's get to the end credit scene.
Yes.
The end credits scene. For those of you who have watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, for those of you who know what Ferris Bueller's Day Off is, it is the exact same end credits as Ferris Bueller's Day Off, except the words are completely different. Except for the beginning, he's like this. He's like, "What are you doing here? The movie's over. Go on." And I'm laughing in the theater because I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I'm watching that and I'm like, oh my god. But then he says something very smart. He says, oh yeah, I don't know, Deadpool 2 is probably in the works, right? And we're gonna talk about that in a little bit in another video. But he's like, Deadpool 2 is probably in the works, and we're gonna have Cable in it. And for those of you who don't know who Cable is, we're gonna get to this in a separate video. But Cable is one of the coolest X-Men characters ever. You don't know a lot about him, but he's really cool. I'm not going to get into it here in the Deadpool review, but I'm going to get into it on a separate video in a little bit. So, but look, to wrap up this video, out of 10, given the fact that this movie is dirty, it's hysterical, it's a superhero, it revitalized Ryan Reynolds' career, and you laughed your butt off.
Yeah.
What's your rating?
A 9.
A 9.5 or just 9?
Just a 9. A solid 9.
You're a solid 9 out of 10.
Yes.
His rating is a 9 out of 10. My rating, look, I walked out of the theater and I said exactly to him, I'm like, look, Andrew, this is a 9. This is a near perfect film for me. That's a 9 out of 10. And I said, you know what? Bump it up to 9.5. 9.5 out of 10 right here. Because, look, a 10, I didn't think it deserved a 10. Like, a 10 for me would be like the Avengers. A 10 for me would be...
A 10 for me would be Force Awakens. I really like that movie.
I gave the movie a 9. Anyways, but like, a 9.5. But like, Star Wars, Avengers, like, those movies I gave 10 out of 10 to. But like, a 10, giving a 10 for me is like, this movie had to really change me. Like, it changed me in a good way. Not in a bad way, like Deadpool. But like, this movie is near perfection, my friends. So look, we've gone on and on about what we love about it. The funniest death scenes were great. the scenes with Colossus and the fact that he killed the guy. Like, at the end of Colossus, like, it's about the moment that changes everything. And he's like, fuck that. And he's like, he just blows his brains out. He blows the bad guy's brains out. And he's like, it was so funny. And like, we can go on and on about this movie, but look, ultimately, guys, it's what you guys think. Jump in the comments section. We'd love to read your thoughts. I mean, some guy's been interacting on one of my thoughts on videos. I had a nice conversation with him. Another guy commented saying, good video. Look, we love it when you guys comment. Keep the comments coming. Comment your favorite parts of Deadpool if you guys have seen it yet. So, for Andrew Schultes, for JT Mahoney, for this Deadpool review, see you later.